"That's the sheriff who hanged my father," she whispered at the town's church door. Sarah Macready's hand freezes on the brass church door handle. 20 feet away, adjusting his badge in the morning light, stands Sheriff Coleman, the man who put the rope around her father's neck 15 years ago. Her daughter Emma tugs at her dress. "Mama, why'd we stop?" "Hush now." "But Mama, everyone's going inside." "I said hush." Coleman turns toward them. Their eyes meet across the gravel parking lot. He doesn't recognize her. She was just 13 then, all knees and elbows and tears. But she knows every line on his weathered face, every grey hair that wasn't there when he read her father the charges. "Horse thief, murderer, guilty." "Morning, ma'am." He tips his hat, walking closer. "Sheriff," her voice comes out steady. 15 years of practice keeping secrets will do that." Emma pushes past her toward the church doors, but Sarah remains frozen, watching Coleman's broad shoulders disappear into the crowd of Sunday worshippers. Inside, the familiar smell of old wood and candle wax should comfort her. Instead, it feels like a trap. Reverend Hayes steps up to the pulpit, his voice booming across the packed pews. "Today we speak of forgiveness," he declares, "of letting go of old wounds." Sarah slides into the back row, Emma chattering beside her about the church potluck, about her friend Mary's new dress, about everything except the tension radiating from her mother's rigid frame. 3 rows ahead, Coleman settles into his usual spot, his silver badge catching the colored light from the stained glass windows. "Vengeance belongs to the Lord," Hayes continues. Sarah's fingers find the locket at her throat. Inside, folded small as a prayer, lies her father's last letter. The one that proves everything Coleman's people said was a lie. The one that names names, tells truths, exposes the corruption that cost Thomas Macready his life. "Mama, you're hurting me." Sarah realizes she's gripping Emma's hand too tight. "Sorry, baby." "Why are you scared?" "Because your grandfather was innocent. Because that man 3 rows up destroyed our family. Because I've been carrying this secret like a stone in my chest for 15 years. I'm not scared, but Emma's 15 now. Same age Sarah was when they took her father away. Old enough to see through lies. Old enough to ask questions Sarah isn't ready to answer." Coleman's head turns slightly, as if sensing her stare. For one terrifying moment, Sarah thinks he might remember. But he just smiles that politicians smile and turns back to the sermon. The truth burns against her chest, patient as a grave. The farmhouse feels smaller when they return from church. Emma hangs her coat on the wooden peg by the door, chattering about the sermon, while Sarah moves through the motions of Sunday lunch. But her father's letter burns against her chest like a brand. "Mama, you're quiet. Just thinking. About what?" "Nothing that concerns you." Emma sits at the kitchen table, swinging her legs the way she did as a child. "Who was my grandfather?" "You never talk about him." Sarah's hand still on the dishes. "Why are you asking?" "Because I'm 15, and I don't know anything about our family." 15. The same age Sarah was when they took her father away in chains. When Coleman read the charges in his cold, measured voice. When the whole town watched Thomas Macready swing from the courthouse oak. "He died before you were born." "How?" "Emma?" "How, Mama?" Sarah pulls the locket from her neck with trembling fingers. The chain catches her hair, pulls at the roots. She opens it carefully, as if the yellowed paper inside might crumble to dust. "What's that?" "A letter." "From who?" "Your grandfather." Emma's eyes widen. She's never seen her mother handle anything with such reverence. Sarah unfolds the paper, reads the familiar words in her father's careful handwriting. "What's it say?" Sarah looks up at her daughter, sees her own stubborn chin, her father's honest eyes. "It says he never stole Fletcher's horses. It says Coleman knew it. It says to ask about the mine at Coleman." "Sheriff Coleman?" "Yes. But if grandfather was innocent, then why?" "Because they hanged him anyway." The words fall between them like stones. Emma's face goes white. "They hanged him?" "Yes, for stealing horses. For being in the wrong place when powerful men needed someone to blame." Through the kitchen window, Coleman's patrol car moves slowly down the dirt road, making his rounds, keeping the peace. The same peace, built on lies and graves. Emma stares at the letter. "What are we going to do?" Sarah folds the paper carefully, closes the locket. I don't know yet, but she's starting to. The Fletcher mine sits like a scar on the hillside, boarded up for 10 years now. Sarah climbs the winding dirt path as sunset bleeds orange across the sky, her father's letter clutched in her sweating palm. She remembers this place, remembers her father working here before everything went wrong. Before, Fletcher accused him of stealing horses to cover his own sins. The boards over the mine entrance are loose, rotted by weather and time. Sarah pries them apart with her bare hands, splinters digging into her palms. The darkness beyond feels alive, breathing. Her phone's flashlight cuts through the black. The beam sweeps across scattered bones on the mine floor. Horse bones, picked clean by time and rats. Jesus. Deeper in the tunnel, something glints. A leather satchel, preserved by the dry mountain air. Sarah kneels beside it, hands shaking as she opens the clasp. Inside, papers yellowed with age. Fletcher's handwriting, unmistakable from the IOUs she remembers her father mentioning. Gambling debts, thousands of dollars owed to dangerous men from the capital. And then, written in Fletcher's own desperate scrawl, frame Thomas Macready. Coleman will help for his cut. Sarah's breath catches. Here it is. Proof. After 15 years of carrying her father's shame, here's the truth written in the hand of the man who destroyed him. She photographs every page with trembling fingers. The IOUs, the plan. Coleman's name appearing again and again like a curse. Footsteps echo from the mine entrance. Thought I might find you here? Sheriff Coleman's voice carries easily in the enclosed space. Sarah stuffs the papers back into the satchel but doesn't turn around. You know, you look just like him. Your daddy. Do I? Same stubborn set to the jaw. Same full sense of justice that got him killed. Sarah finally turns. Coleman fills the mine entrance, blocking her only way out. His hand rests casual on his gun. Justice. That's a funny word coming from you, is it? My father was innocent. Maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't. Doesn't matter now. Coleman steps deeper into the mine. Behind him, the entrance looked smaller, more distant. Found something interesting, did you? Maybe. Mind sharing? Sarah clutches the satchel against her chest. The evidence that could clear her father's name. The proof that could destroy Coleman's life. One woman, one corrupt sheriff, and the truth buried in the dark. You've been watching me. It's my job to watch people. Following me. Protecting the community. From what? Coleman smiles, cold as winter ground. From people who don't know when to leave the past buried. My father never stole those horses. No, he didn't. Coleman's easy admission hit Sarah like a physical blow. 15 years she's carried this weight, and he just admits it like discussing the weather. Then why? Fletcher owed the wrong people money. Needed a scapegoat fast. Your daddy was convenient, and you helped him. I was young. Sheriff's pay wasn't much back then. Fletcher offered me more money than I'd seen in my life. Sarah backs deeper into the mine shaft. So you hanged an innocent man. I enforced the law. Court found him guilty. Based on lies you helped plant. Based on evidence that was presented to me. Coleman's hand moves to his gun. The metal whispers against leather as he draws it. Evidence can be complicated, Sarah. Like this. She holds up the satchel. Fletcher's confession. His plan. Your name all over it. For the first time, Coleman's composure cracks. A muscle twitches in his jaw. Give me that. No. Sarah, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Harder? You killed my father. You destroyed my family. Made me grow up without anyone. Your father was dead the minute Fletcher pointed at him. I just made sure it happened clean. Clean? Quick, no suffering. Coleman's radio crackles to life. Dispatch calling for his location. He needs to respond soon, or questions will be asked. Sarah sees the panic flicker across his weathered features. Unit 7, please respond. Coleman ignores it. The evidence disappears. You go home to your daughter. We all live our lives, like my father did. Your father's dead. Has been for 15 years. Nothing changes that. The radio crackles again. Unit 7, welfare check requested. I have to answer that, Coleman says. But first, you hand over Fletcher's lies. They're not lies. They're 15-year-old papers from a desperate man. Who's going to believe them over a decorated sheriff? Sarah meets his eyes. Behind all the authority, all the years of respect and fear, she sees what he really is. A coward who sold an innocent man's life for money, I am. You're nobody. I'm Thomas Macready's daughter. Coleman raises the gun, and you're about to join him. The radio crackles one more time. In the static, Sarah hears her chance. Coleman can't kill her and maintain his cover. Not tonight, not yet, Mama. Emma's voice echoes from the mine entrance like a gunshot. Sarah's heart stops. I told you to stay home. I got scared. Your truck was here, but you weren't answering your phone. Coleman glances toward the entrance, then back at Sarah. His advantage gone in an instant. Emma, stay outside. Why? What's wrong? But Emma's already inside, her phone's flashlight sweeping across the mine. She freezes when she sees Coleman's drawn gun. Sheriff? What's happening? Just a misunderstanding, sweetheart. Coleman's voice shifts to that false kindness Sarah remembers from the courthouse. Your mama and I are having a talk. With a gun. Sometimes adults need to settle things. Emma steps closer to Sarah. Mama, what's going on? Sarah feels the weight of 15 years crushing down on her. Her daughter, her innocent daughter, standing in the same darkness that swallowed her father's truth. Tell her, Coleman says. Tell her what kind of man your daddy really was. Don't. Tell her about the horses he stole. The man he killed. Those are lies. Emma looks between them. What horses? What man? Your grandfather was a horse thief and a murderer, Coleman continues. I brought him to justice. That's what sheriffs do. Stop it. Sarah steps forward, satchel pressed against her chest. Mama, is that true? The question breaks Sarah's heart. She sees herself at 15, asking the same desperate questions, getting the same terrible answers. No, baby. Your grandfather was innocent. This man hanged him anyway. Hanged him? For money. For Fletcher's money. Coleman's gun wavers between mother and daughter. Now I have two problems. You're not going to hurt my daughter. I'm not going to hurt anyone if you hand over that bag. And if I don't, then Emma grows up an orphan. Just like you did. Emma's face goes white. You killed my grandfather? I did my job. Your job was murder? My job was keeping the peace. Sarah watches her daughter's world crumble the way hers did 15 years ago. But Emma is different, stronger. She doesn't cry. She doesn't beg. She just stares at Coleman with pure hatred. Give me the evidence, Sarah. No, I'll kill her. No, you won't. Why not? Because then you have to explain two bodies in a mine. Because people know we're here. Because your radio's been calling and you haven't answered. Coleman's hand shakes slightly. For the first time in 15 years, he looks afraid. Besides, Sarah continues, she's already seen your face, already heard the truth. Killing us doesn't put that back in the bottle. Emma reaches for her mother's hand. What do we do now? Coleman's radio crackles again. Unit 7, search party forming. Missing persons reported. Search party. Emma asks. I left a note, Sarah realizes. Told Mrs. Henderson where we were going if we didn't come back. Coleman's face goes white. You planned this. I planned to survive it. Voices echo from outside the mine. Flashlights dance across the entrance. The town has come looking for the Macready women. Sheriff Coleman, someone calls. You in there? Coleman raises his gun toward Emma. Not a word. Sheriff? The voice is closer now. Deputy Martinez. Sarah sees Coleman's panic. 15 years of respect and authority crumbling in real time. He can't shoot them now, not with witnesses. Tell them you're checking the mine, Sarah whispers. Tell them we're safe. Martinez. Coleman calls out, his voice shaking. Found them. They're fine. What are they doing in there? Coleman looks at Sarah. In his eyes, she sees the end of everything he's built. His career, his reputation, his life. Sheriff? Martinez appears at the entrance, flashlight in hand. Behind him, half the town. Sarah steps into the light, satchel raised high. I found my father's proof. Fletcher's confession. Coleman helped frame an innocent man. The silence stretches like a held breath. Then Martinez draws his weapon. Sheriff, put the gun down. It's lies, Coleman says, but his voice cracks. Put it down, sir. Coleman's gun wavers, then falls to his side. 3 months later, Sarah and Emma stand at Thomas Macready's grave. The headstone is new, paid for with the settlement money. No longer reads horse thief. Now it says, beloved father and grandfather. Tell me about him, Emma says. He was honest. He was brave. He fought for what was right, like you did. Sarah touches the smooth granite. For 15 years she whispered his name in shame. Now she can speak it with pride. Thomas Macready, she says aloud. My father. The words carry across the valley like a prayer answered. Like justice finally come home, Emma takes her hand. What do we do now? We live, Sarah says. We live free.